Burr become such a pathetic dork? Trying really hard here. Matt Walsh, LARPing as a masculine person, is here to tell you why Bill Burr is a pathetic dork.
If you've been following Bill Burr's descent from edgy and countercultural comedian to full-on regime propagandist, you've probably...
Regime propagandist? He said something anti-Trump, and that makes him, in my opinion, anti-regime. And also he won the popular vote. That makes him countercultural as well. I think he's still... he's right on mark, personally.
We've been wondering when exactly his Howard Stern moment would come. And that's the moment where, as a comedian, Bill Burr completely drops the pretense of being an entertainer and embraces his role as a shill for the political establishment.
The political establishment. Matt, you are a shill for the political establishment. Did it hurt to say those words, or do you think he didn't have any awareness of the sentence he was reading off of the prompter? Like, do you think he identifies himself even a little in that sentence?
We all knew that Burr was on this trajectory. It's been inevitable for some time, and now, beyond any doubt, that moment has arrived. Now, appropriately enough, Burr's Howard Stern moment came as he was speaking to another comedian turned propagandist, Jimmy Kimmel. On
You used to be cool, Jimmy! Yeah! You used to jump on trampolines with ladies with titties! And you weren't supposed to move on from that ever! You were supposed to be that guy forever, Jimmy! Never have a thought beyond titties and trampolines.
On his show the other day.
Did you guys know that Jimmy Kimmel did The Man Show? That was on Comedy Central. I didn't watch it. You still have Adam Carolla, though. That guy's still a douchebag. He does the same thing. You're not shitting on Adam Carolla. They both have the same path, but did different shit. By the way, Jimmy Kimmel is massively more successful than Adam Carolla. He's probably pretty butthurt about that, by the way, and could be part of the reason why he's a right-winger.
Kimmel begins by asking Burr about the LA fires, which forced Burr to evacuate his home. Watch.
It's very good to see you. I heard you had to evacuate your home.
Yes, like most.
This is a good Matt Walsh segment because he doesn't usually play clips, and when he does, they're very short. We finally get a few clips of someone that is bearable.
People I got lucky, the winds moved, but, the fire was coming and all that stuff, so I feel lucky.
Are you guys back in?
And I think everybody did a great job.
Yeah.
Unlike the internet,
Yeah, right. I know. It's right.
Oh, my God. All of these fire experts. Why didn't you just fly a helicopter into the ocean? And then just, I don't know, because there was 100-knot winds? You want to do that? You want to do that at night, you lunatic?
True.
How are you?
This was definitely mismanaged.
That's a big word we're hearing now.
Mismanaged, like some idiot on the internet knows how to manage the worst fire in LA, sitting there in his underwear. You know what? Looking at the footage on the internet, I have determined that this here was mismanaged.
So
that's pretty funny. You look mad. Why are you mad? Can we acknowledge that there was there was a turning point very near 2016 where these guys went from the blue-haired feminine, the SJWs. Oh, they're so offended at everything. Oh, they cry and whine. These motherfuckers never stop bitching. It's a non-stop bitch fest. Constantly complaining about everybody. Oh, this person said something bad about Trump. They have Trump derangement syndrome. Do you think I could just disagree with a guy? These guys used to say, "Oh, I can have an adult disagreement with somebody without canceling that." And now it's like fucking they freak out. They freak the fuck. You can't even talk to these fucking people anymore. They're so up their own shit. It's incredibly brainwashed behavior. And then, of course, there's Matt Walsh, who is a pundit, so he is paid to do so. Tough.
There's no real punchline there. There's no setup. There's no humor of any kind. He's just mocking the idea that normal people could possibly be qualified to judge or even notice outrageous incompetence in the leadership class. Even when that incompetence is burning down their city, Bill Burr thinks it's absurd for anyone on the internet to point that out. And this is a lecture that Burr is delivering after anonymous people on the internet have been proven again and again to be more reliable than the so-called experts on everything from COVID to Russian disinformation to January 6th.
Yeah, so like it should be illegal to slurp up this kind of misinformation. It should be illegal to disseminate it, of course. Like this is a crazy. Oh, COVID, not a big deal. Fucking millions of people died. It's ridiculous. We could have been like responsible for like a week or two and like chilled, and then it would have been okay. But instead, the capitalism machine must fucking churn. We can't stop. What if we don't make number? It's like, what if we got numbers. We got plenty of numbers. We could chill. We gotta make more numbers. And they freaked out, and then they made it all worse. And then, of course, Trump fucking dropped the ball, and, you know, it'll disappear when it warms up, he said. Yeah, we'll just deal with pandemics by having fucking just denial about the reality of biology and the fucking, like, just science in general. Hey, you know, like bird flu. If it makes a jump, and it's been killing a few people here and there, if it manages to, what they're worried about is bird flu and influenza being in the same patient, like already human influenza, and them having a crossbreed moment that starts to really impact things. That could be really bad, and we're getting closer and closer to that. And it's like right when fucking Donald Trump and all his science-denying pals are in office, and it's gonna be sick as fuck, man. They think vaccines don't fucking work. Like, get ready for fucking polio, boy.
To you know, gender, and so on. It's
gender? You know, the myth of having a gender? Okay, Matt.
About as tone deaf and out of date as you can get, but to Bill Burr, I mean, this is the cutting edge of comedy. What's especially embarrassing about this is that if Burr actually cared about comedy and satire, there's a lot of material that he could be working with. It wouldn't make the political elites of Los Angeles very
give Bill Burr comedy tips, Matt Walsh.
happy to hear it, but that's the whole point.
His cup of leftist tears next to him. Yeah, cool, dude.
For example, here's new reporting from...
This is live, laugh, love for fucking right-wing dorks. Leftist tears, this is the same thing as live, laugh, love. It's not different. Same type of motherfucker whose house you go into and they have like signs on their bathroom that says like bathroom and towels and wash. You know what I'm talking about? You know the house with little signs everywhere? Kitchen. Food.
From Michael Schellenberger, quote, as fires raged and LA Mayor Karen Bass attended a cocktail party in Ghana, her deputy mayor for public safety was also unavailable because of an FBI raid at his house in connection to an investigation regarding a bomb threat that he allegedly made against City Hall. Now, I'll say that again. While the city was catching on fire, the mayor of Los Angeles was attending a cocktail party in Africa, the country she promised she'd stop visiting once she was like the mayor. And at the
She promised she would stop visiting it when she was mayor. Wait, why? Why can't she go anywhere? I'm confused.
same time, the deputy mayor for public safety in Los Angeles was on leave following an FBI raid on his house related to a bomb threat that he allegedly made against City Hall. So nobody was paying attention to the fires because, you know, the leadership in LA was...
Did he call Africa a country? Did he say it was a country? I was confused why he was upset about Ghana. He called it a country? Fuck. I missed that entirely. I was really trying to think, like, why would he be upset? It just sounds like a racist thing. It sounds like she's visiting a place that has black people in it, and so he's got to bring it up.
Either being investigated by the feds or in Africa.
In Africa. And in Africa is as bad. Like, visiting Africa, morally as bad as being investigated by the feds for a bomb threat. Sure.
So it sounds like it's too absurd to be real, but it is.
It's not really too absurd to be real. A thing happened on the same date? That's just the
kind of thing that actual comics could have a field day with. And of course, there were many more stories like this. There was Gavin Newsom telling the desperate
Are you
moment.
okay? Get this man a drink. He's got 2 cups in front of him, and he's not taking a sip from either, and he clearly needs one.
And that he was on the phone with Joe Biden, only to admit that he didn't actually have any cell service when she asked to see the phone. There's also the overweight lesbian fire chief who proudly stated that it's your fault if you get trapped in a fire, and so on and so on. But none of these...
It's your fault if you get trapped in a fire because we're telling you ahead of time to get the fuck out of here. Yeah, I guess.
Comedic scenarios would play well on Reddit, so Bill Burr didn't bring any of them up. Instead, He attacked safer targets like Fox News and the insurance companies. Watch.
Not the insurance companies. No.
I love how all the chatter out there is about bands of illegal immigrants and homeless people lighting fires. They light fires every day. They're living outside. They're cold. And this theory that some homeless guy without a car went from Altadena all the way to the Pacific Palisades, and then we have a hang glider. You know, and they're talking about looting, but CNN and Fox News are not going to bring up the insurance companies that are just going to keep everybody's premiums and still give themselves a bonus.
Fucking true.
Yes. Free Luigi!
Fucking face.
I love how they acted surprised.
You hear him say free Luigi, and you see, like, Jimmy Kimmel's on, like, ABC, right? It's crazy. The guy actually might get away with it. Probably not, but that would be crazy. They might fucking, like, what if they just say, like, okay, you get one? Yeah.
Why did that happen?
He should do it again, by the way.
I have no idea. He wrote on the bullets why it happened.
Look at Matt Walsh. I'm very seriously mad about the murder of the guy whose name I can't even remember who got killed. Free fucking Luigi, though, by the way. We should fucking free that guy.
So this is an attempt at humor that doesn't even make sense. He
It made a lot of sense.
begins by acknowledging that homeless people and illegal migrants set fires all over the place.
No. Like, no. Like fires to stay warm, not like forest fires. The fires started from a fucking down power line. They have footage. Like, what? Acknowledging that they have fires, yeah. You're stupid, dude. You're so dumb.
All the time because, they want to stay warm. But then he says that it's totally absurd to conclude that these fires could have been set by homeless people or illegal immigrants because there was more than one fire in Los Angeles.
Yeah, there's no proof of that. You don't have proof of this. You guys just said it because you're like, yeah, I bet it was the fucking these groups that I don't like. If you could have, if for some reason you could have, I bet there's people that are like, oh, it's California, it's the transes, it's the queers. It's just whoever you don't want, Antifa. Whoever you don't like. Your brains are fucking cracked open.
And they were far apart. Mm-hmm. Apparently you're supposed to dismiss the possibility that there might be more than one homeless person or illegal alien setting fires in Los Angeles. And then you're supposed to laugh, I guess.
Do you think there's coordination between the homeless migrants around LA? They're like, yeah, all right, you do one up in Altadena, I'll do one in Pacific Palisades. It'll be great. Like, shut the fuck up.
Then everything somehow goes downhill from there. He starts talking about how the insurance companies are stealing premiums. Then he says that
the insurance companies are going to deny a lot of people their coverage for these. And in fact, they're already doing so mostly in red states where you have hurricanes and flooding and all that shit. They're starting to just deny people altogether any sort of house insurance that involves like acts of God or whatever you call it, like natural disasters.
psychotic trust fund kid who murdered a health insurance CEO should be freed because a lot of other psychopaths on the internet were saying that a month ago.
Are you opposed to trust funds suddenly? That's weird to add that. Suddenly Matt Walsh is opposed to having trust funds around. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he was a psychopath at all. I don't think he was insane. You think you're going to dismiss that as insanity, Matthew Walsh? He seemed pretty cogent and direct on why he wanted to kill the insurance CEO, and I don't blame him, and I'm really excited for the trial. I think it'll be a very good national conversation.
This is comedy, you see. You're supposed to find this amusing.
Everybody laughed, Matt.
Now again, the point of the humor here is to defend California's political elite. It was California's politicians who prevented insurance companies from setting higher rates for disaster coverage. So the insurance companies did the rational thing, which was cancel a lot of policies for homes in Pacific Palisades because they predicted a devastating fire was likely to occur.
That's not How are you such a cuck? How are you such a cuck? The rational thing was to deny coverage for insurance on homes? What the fuck is the point? What the fuck is the point, man? What a foolish piece of shit. You just want to be fucked by the corporations forever? I hope his house burns down. I genuinely do. That would be fantastic. Little natural disaster near the Walsh compound burns everything away. I do also hope he's shitting in the middle of it and misses the phone call to get out. But his family can go. Alyssa Walsh can make her way out with the kids. I don't care. It would be like lovely though. I need flood insurance. Why? I might get flooded. No, right? It's so obvious.
It's cold.
Dee Dee the Schmay. Thanks for following, dude.
And instead of
You also hate Matt Walsh, Dee Dee?
doing anything with this information, city officials didn't make sure the reservoir was full. They didn't fully staff the fire department.
Okay, you're kind of burying the lead, though. They cut funding, like funding that could have gone to the fire department, and these resources you're saying went to the police instead because of people like you. You know? Just saying.
Instead, they flew to Africa and called in bomb threats to City Hall.
No. Those didn't happen after. Those weren't reactions. You see what you did there? Those weren't reactions. I don't even like Democrats. Don't make me defend Democrats or liberals. Okay? Don't fucking even.
And yet Bill Burr won't make any kind of jokes about those city officials. He lets them off the hook entirely because those officials are Democrats. And Bill Burr is now a partisan hack.
Oh, Bill Burr is a partisan hack for thinking that the fires weren't the cause of migrants that you're just speculating on, like crazy.
That's what he's devolved into.
Uh-huh.
As I said,
Devolved. He's doing fine.
there have been signs that this would happen for several years. Back in 2019, for his Paper Tiger special, Burr went out of his way to defend the BLM narrative surrounding Colin Kaepernick, who, again, was maybe the single easiest target for mockery that you could imagine.
Right. So you're saying that he, instead of doing some easy thing, he made funny jokes doing the hard thing?
But here's what Bill Burr did with it.
No, everything has just become absolutes in the States. It's nuts. Like that Colin Kaepernick guy, right? You knew when he was like protesting during the national anthem, no one was going to listen to what the he had to say, no matter how much he explained it. He goes, I'm taking a knee during the national anthem. This is a protest about police brutality, the way people of color are treated. We'd like to open a dialogue. He got about halfway through that. People are like, my brother's fighting in Iraq, you piece of shit. It's just like, buddy. Nobody is saying your brother isn't in Iraq fighting. You're not listening. This is about police brutality. My brother's a firefighter. He watched 9/11 on television. No, buddy. Nobody's saying that your brother's not a firefighter. I got a bone spur in my heel. I can still stand up during the dog. Buddy, nobody is saying you can't see a podiatrist. All right? You're not listening.
It's true. And still you aren't listening. You showed a clip of him making fun of you right now with zero awareness, and it's evergreen. What a beautiful thing. That's how you know Bill Burr is a good comic, because it works. It's prescient in the moment that Matt Walsh is trying to use it to shit on him. Hilarious. So fucking stupid, dude. What a cell phone.
So this is a comedian who's basically promoting the leftist concept of centering. I mean, he did everything but actually use that phrase.
The leftist concept of center? You mean listening to what someone has to say? Center? Just listen to what fucking Colin Kaepernick is saying. Like, but that's not what you did, and that's not what you're doing, and you're certainly not doing that with Bill.
Those racist, ignorant white people are always trying to center themselves, not listening to the plight of the multimillionaire quarterback. They don't care about the made-up fact that police officers are killing black people all the time.
It's not just about killing black people all the time. It's mistreatment in general, and profiling and over-policing of their communities and stuff like that. But, like, little-known fact, a former Green Beret who played for the Seahawks suggested that Colin take a knee to protest. He also knelt beside him in solidarity. Well, don't you know it?
That's the joke. Hilarious. This is a routine that feels like it was intended for the faculty lounge at, say, Vassar, but Bill Burr apparently thought that he had a winner with this one. He said something similar on his podcast at the time, quote, "For me personally, I'm a white male heterosexual. I can basically, within reason, do whatever the F I want to do. Here's a guy who's making zillions of effing dollars and still feels this way. This is, I should probably shut the F up and listen to what he has to say."
Yeah, man. Like, just listen. It's okay to listen. It's not masculine to listen to somebody when they're saying stuff.
That's your edgy, unwoke comedian there. In other words, it can't
Unwoke? What?
possibly be that the guy is rich and like wrong about this, trying
Well, no, he's rich and correct about it, though.
to stay relevant. That's not possible.
He wasn't trying to stay relevant. He was a Super Bowl quarterback. That was at the height of his influence. That's why he did it at the height of his influence on purpose. He wasn't trying to stay relevant. He was relevant. So you still talk about him, you know?
No rich person would ever push a false racial narrative in exchange for fame and even more wealth.
Fame and more wealth. He got kicked out of the NFL. That motherfucker would still be in the league. Are you kidding me? Russell fucking Wilson is still in the league. Ain't no way.
This is the kind of insight that Burr is now capable of.
Yeah.
But the truth is that that's kind of underselling the decline of Bill Burr as a comedian. Even when he's not trying to make some grand political statement on behalf of the Democrat Party, he's still falling flat. A few months ago, he appeared on SNL and had several moments where the audience had no response, like at all, to what he was saying. Kind of brutal watch.
Kind of brutal watch after he just killed it several times in front of audiences. Kind of a funny joke.
Like, dude, when's the last time you made a Gandhi? Somebody empathetic, you know?
That's kind of funny.
I mean, not particularly PC or woke or whatever. It's just lame. Just
Oh, are you dare mock God? You're so fucking offended. Oh my God. With your soft little hands. I'm in my flannel. I got a banjo in the background so you can tell. You don't use that shit. You have soft hands, Matt. You don't do nothing.
just hard to watch. Hard to watch. I mean, if you
Hard
go
to
back
watch?
and pull up
I thought that was funny.
clips of old Bill Burr routines from more than 10 years ago,
Do it.
it's like watching a completely different person.
Let's see.
Yeah,
Please.
He was actually a comedian for one thing. He was
For
he was
sure.
funny. And he was
Find a
even
joke.
insightful in his own way at certain points.
Mm-hmm.
In 2010, for example, Burr did a special called "Let It Go."
Okay.
It's worth watching if you find the time. One of the main themes of the special is that he's over 40 and still doesn't have kids. It's not some hour-long morality play about the importance of having kids or anything like that, but not that it would be wrong to talk about the importance of having kids, but
God.
it's a comedy, and it does wring out a lot of humor out of the situation in a kind of self-deprecating way. Certainly not
Are you explaining the fucking comedy right now? Do we need to pad for time? You got the mid-roll. Just cut it. This is enough.
lecturing anyone about how important it is to be loyal Democrat Party operatives. And he also
Democrat Party operatives? I think you're just ass mad that he disagrees with you. You guys are not cool. You're never going to be cool. You're dorks. You're fucking losers, really. Like, people just want to live their lives and you don't want them to, and that's like really the rub. That's what it is. And you suck the dick of corporations. And it's fucking lame. And billionaires in general. You guys just want to be them so bad. You want daddies. And it's you know, what happened to men is my question. They used to be strong, independent, and now you just want little daddies to suck on. Don't forget, Matt took a picture of himself struggling to fish in clean-ass boots and an empty tackle box and no line on the rod and reel. I do remember that. It was right around the time that Ben Shapiro also did PR with a single plank of wood from Home Depot.
also threw in some material about the arbitrary nature
What, do you think he just threw the plank away? Or did he fucking return it?
of race politics and racial guilt, which was ahead of its time.
Racial guilt? Motherfucker, I'm as left as they come. I have no racial guilt whatsoever. I didn't do any of that shit. Are you fucking kidding me? No, I have an awareness. You call it woke. I just read fucking history. I was woke in fucking college when I read history books. All you had to do is read about what happens. You're like, oh, the Civil War, huh? And you could start at the Civil War, and you could go back and forth in either direction through time, and you'll find out this country ain't shit. It's a pretty bad place. It's a pretty fucking bad place, and it's not been a good one forever. It's never really been a good one. We're trying, though. We could be a great country. We are a functional capitalist society, and it's definitely cool to live here because you're in the empire, and you know, we're in the empirical core, right? And so, like, you don't want to be the rest of the globe that gets all the resources taken from them and funneled towards the center. But also, like, frankly, being in the center of it, it's got its own kinds of stresses. It's not the same, right? It's got its own kind of thing going on. The Damocles sword of fucking capitalism over your head all the fucking time. And every day you're trying to tie knots to the rope to keep it together. And eventually it's just not going to work. It's going to come for us all. Because we all get sick, and we all have health care expenses, and we all fucking get old. And unless you're insanely wealthy, we're all going to get chewed the fuck up. So, can't you see the fucking writing on the wall? You shouldn't have to be employed to live a life, and you certainly shouldn't have to be super, super well employed to get access to healthcare. It's just fucking crazy. The corporations are holding a fucking gun to your head, and you're saying, ooh, turn it towards my fellow man instead of me. You fucking coward. You're not a patriot, you're a pussy.
So here's that part, just to give you an idea of...
Cool. This is woke, by the way. I don't know why you think this is... Is it because he's talking about race stuff? Dave does this. Yeah, he does. This is not... Like, he's being woke. Yeah.
So
he was joking. He was making fun of himself being racist. And I bet if you watch the full set, he'll be like, well, here, you can't do that.
Oh, now, that's actually funny. And it points out the kind of arbitrary rules that we have.
No, it doesn't, Matt. It doesn't point out the arbitrary rules. It's showing you the sentence and why it's bad. He's using himself as the punchline. You so stupid. Right-wing people do not understand jokes or humor. He's genuinely just dumb as fuck.
For language and the way that we treat different races and all that.
No.
It's funny.
You don't know how to
funny
read.
Observation.
You just don't understand language. So I was a history major and an English minor, so... the way that you syntax that is important because it boils a person down to an Asian, which is dehumanizing language when you say you're just your race. But if you say an Asian person, an Asian motherfucker, which is, not a synonym for person, but a replacement, It sounds different. It just does. Also, that, though, I will say, that's outdated language as well. Most of us wouldn't say the race of a person now, necessarily, unless, I guess it came up. I don't know. It would be weird to just bring it up. Old people do that shit. Bill's age.
And watching that clip...
Yeah, it would only be if it's relevant, really, but, yeah.
It's not hard to see that Bill Burr's downfall is even more tragic than Howard Stern. I mean, Howard Stern...
His downfall on the most popular nighttime television talk show? I think he's fine.
Was always a freak, as we've discussed before. The guy was always just a disgusting creep. But Burr, at one point, had genuine talent. He wasn't going for the lowest common denominator, and he certainly wasn't running interference for some of the most incompetent politicians in the country, people who destroyed their own city while getting a lot of people killed in the process.
Destroyed their own city?
Solely because of his political affiliation.
Wait, what?
But that's what he's been reduced to.
BLM
and whatever you blame for his downfall, whether it's his age, the influence of his leftist wife, which a lot of people have pointed to.
Oh my God, his leftist wife. Calling her a leftist because she's black.
That's kind of the beginning of the end of him actually being funny.
You're hiding behind racism, man.
Or you point to his politics or whatever, or the fact that he started starring in, movies, and he was in Breaking Bad and these Hollywood things, and started hanging out with people in Hollywood and going to the cocktail parties. I mean, all that stuff probably is part of it. But the inevitable conclusion is that Bill Burr is no longer a comedian. He's
absolutely a comedian and doing well.
Howard Stern, Jimmy Kimmel, so many other former comedians like them. Now just a washed up political hack.
That's fucking you. That's you. What? That's fucking you, dog.
Who's all too willing to read from a script.
You're doing that! Did an intern that hates Matt Walsh write this script? That's literally what you're doing!
That absolves his masters in the Democrat Party at every opportunity.
That's what you do for MAGA and Trump! What the fuck? This is insane. It is genuinely insane.
And
this is the most self-aware, least self-aware at the same time.
This is why Bill Burr, whose career began with a lot of promise and ended with a pitiful thud, is today, regrettably, canceled. Hey,
you see Bill Burr's canceled now? Because he said the fires in LA weren't made by homeless migrants. Cool, dude. God, Matt Walsh is so fucking pathetic. Bill Burr is dope as fuck, though. Great job. So stupid.